Emma Goldman says if voting would be making any change, then it would be made illegal. Why would he say that? By then, Plato says that if you do not participate in an election, you're actually making your inferiors to lead you. Then I want to amalgam these two statements, and today we have to discuss something about politics. And I've had a lot of opinion polls, and also I've been seeing that there are so much undecided votes which actually have not yet made their minds whether they're going to vote or not. But this is not a matter of making a decision or it's a matter of if willing, but it's a matter of you have to do it because it is your obligation and you ought to do what you are obliged to as a human person. And Aristotle will say that a human person who is not social is either a demiurge or rather a god or a beast. What would that mean actually? So let's try to understand these three concepts as we begin our discussions today because politics as it is a social activity that man partakes and it's not a negotiable thing. It's something that you need to partake because if you do not participate in an election, you're either alienating yourself as a human person or a human being and making yourself either a god or a beast. That is not something to do with a lot of knowledge or something. It's something which you as a person you have to partake. But trying to figure out the indecisive votes or whatsoever, and those people who feel like the government has oppressed them and they feel like they should not actually participate in an election is something to worry. Not only the whole society, but you as an individual, because we'll say that you not participating in an election, you're actually making the wrong choice by not going to vote somebody who will have brought a change. And again, we understand that the politicians are our sons, our daughters, our brothers, our fathers, and our mothers. And why would it be so difficult in making decision and rather saying that politicians are kind of oligarchic, or rather they become so much corrupt after getting powers? And also, you realize that if you empower a politician, you make him corrupt because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Actually, now given that this moment is an electioneering time and we as Kenyans, we are almost going to make either a wrong or a good decisions. But I want to take you back a little bit and try to question you about what a society is and who brings a society in place and what are the social stratification that makes a society what it is? Is there any moral values that we gain from the society, or there are some ethical values that we do not get from the society? And that's what actually the reflection of what our leaders are. Many a times you'll hear people saying that they are not going to participate in an election because every politician seems to be the same and they talk of the same language, and after that they just vacate from the villages and go back to stay in towns where they have been. But where do they come from? They come from the society. This is the same society that has bred them, brought them up, and they have actually made who they are from the society. An individual is a reflection of the whole society if taken statistically by numbers. Because if at all we have 1,000 people in a community and out of 100,000, 10 of them are corrupt, it is simply a reflection of what a society is. And if a society is corrupt, we are going to have a corrupt leaders. And if the society is straightforward society, we are going to have straightforward people who are actually on the words and they deal with the words they have actually promised to deal with. It's not something that it's a rocket science that we need to apply, but it is just a simple reflection of what a society is and what has been teaching to the people. if at all the society has been good and it has been actually emitting good policies, emitting good ethical values to its members, then it follows by necessity that every individual in a society is going to be a good person. But if at all by numbers the society produces 10 corrupt men, it means that the society has a problem and the whole society is rotten, and that it's where we need to deal with. We cannot start by dealing with the head, but we start dealing by actually the tail. The whole thing needs to be overwhelmingly changed, and if at all we need to make changes on our leaders, it is our all duty, all members' duties to ensure that the society we come from, we have uprooted corruption, we have made corruption something deadly, and by then we will be making the right choices in the coming elections.